Hey, chat. Who wants to take a look at a shotgun so cool it's kind of illegal? Want to check out Brandon's new video about it looked like from the image it looked like a street sweeper? Street sweeper shotgun? Oh yes. Oh yes, let's walk and go.
Shotguns are based. Destructive devices are mega-based. Combine the two of those things and you're reaching levels of based that shouldn't even be possible. No, you don't have to do that every time. That's right, today we are taking a look at the famous street sweeper.
Remington street sweeper. Oh god, yes. Which honestly, looking at the design, you have to wonder if this was the inspiration for the I forget the nomenclature, but the six-pack. The six-pack grenade. Oh, we have Raiders? Oh, hi Griffin Knight. Hi Raiders. Welcome in. How you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. Hi. How are you? How is your stream? And hi, I'm back. I see you. How was your stream? Yes, the M32. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of, the M32. You have to wonder if this was the inspiration for the M32. I kind of think it was. Welcome in, Raiders. You came in at just the right time. Just the right time. Yes, we are just starting Brandon's video about the street sweeper. So please join us for the boom boom. Nice. God. We'll wobble on there without the stock. Damn, that hits hard.
I wanted to do that since the days where you could still say gamer words on Xbox Live.
We don't do that here.
Oh, this? I wouldn't worry about any of that. Anyway, Striker 12. Striker, I hardly know her. That's not going to age well. Yes, this is the Striker 12-gauge shotgun. This one was made by S&S. It's listed as S/S on the front. It's not SS, despite...
Oh god, that is a very that is a very unfortunate moniker right there. I gotta say.
Lightning bolt. It is a semi-automatic, more or less, 12-gauge shotgun. So we're going to show you a little bit about how it works, because it is kind of unique. For one, this shotgun actually has a loading gate. So you actually pull that lever up there, and you have access to where the ammunition goes. Different rounds, like a giant 12-gauge revolver, essentially. And you wind it,
Yeah.
you'd never guess it, from the big windy gear in the front. So you just sit here and load the spring tension.
That's the one downside about that. Reloading this thing would be such a pain in the ass. Either load a shell, crank, load a shell, crank, load a shell, crank. That would be the annoying part. Is it would be so slow to reload this thing once you're out of shells. Well, I mean, it's at the time, like obviously things have changed since. You know, now that you've got the M32, reloading it is
That's
it's a breech
future
load.
Texan congressman right there.
Like no, like the more modern ones, it would be a breech load where it'd be a break action, and you can just pop it open, have all the cylinders exposed, just pop them in, snap it, close, you're off and running. But you have to remember when this was made, and they probably didn't consider that, consider trying to engineer it for that kind of functionality.
Which then allows you to cycle through. Now that was with the gun on safe. With the gun on safe, it won't actually fire. It's not a SIG. That was just a cheap shot. That wasn't fair. I'm sorry. But when you push through the safety, then it engages the striker, no pun intended, to actually fire. And then you can hear it there. So when the gun firing pin engages, and then you can hear when I let off the trigger, it rotates to the next round.
Oh, okay. So that actually makes a difference. That makes a little bit of a difference that you don't. So you can basically just shell trigger when it's on safe. Shell trigger pull, shell trigger pull, shell trigger pull, shell trigger pull. That makes it a little bit better than having to physically work the crank every time you load a shell. You just better fucking make sure it's on safe when you do it.
Real quick, just to bitch a little bit, it is impossible to overstate just how dog shit this trigger pull is. Like, look at how I'm pulling this trigger. Okay. This is now heavier than any rifle trigger I've ever fired, I'm pretty sure. And I'm just getting to the point where it's just now rotated the cylinder. And now I have to pull through that even harder to get to the actual striker itself. No pun intended. It's like you have to really like pull down on that and really just like jerk at the fucking trigger to even get a shot off. And before we filmed this video, I gave this to other gun guys and I warned them how heavy the trigger pull was. And there's a very real chance you could just advance the round without setting off the striker. And that's what a lot of them were doing. They thought that that was the trigger pull. It's like a fake trigger pull and you have to really just pull through it. It's just, it's stiff as fuck.
Problem.
This is
that's
definitely one of the designs of all time. It's garbage, but it's my garbage. Hands off my trash.
I have a new Texas knife. Thanks, Warren. And I'm gonna use it to open my new Tac Pack. Oh, dear Lord, that's sharp. Zero effort. Tac Pack is the ultimate box subscription service for tactical gear, including stuff like tactical swag. Wait, was that Nodzilla? SOG knives, mag pouches, mag blocks, AR parts, and more. Which is to say, more AR parts. The standard Tac Pack is $59.95 shipped, and then the Tac Pack Plus is $139.95 shipped. And I've been told the stuff inside the March Tac Pack Plus is going to be worth $200.
I don't know if it'd be considered an unintentional safety, where the because the problem is it's not a safety; it's actually advancing the cylinder. So if you've already fired off some of the rounds, then you might accidentally advance the cylinders. And then you still have a live shell left in the tamer that you're unaware of. And that could be a problem. Yeah, it could lean towards an unintentional discharge. Because if you squeeze the trigger, like it's like a normal rifle, and you hear the clunk, and you think it's fired, and you let go, you've now advanced the cylinder, and you now have that live round that is past the block. And it's not exactly easy. It's not like you can pop the mag out of it. You would have to cycle all the way back through and do a couple of false trigger pulls where there's nothing to fire to get back to that live round. And if you didn't know it was there, if you didn't realize you hadn't engaged it, you thought, oh, it's a dummy round, but you still have this live shell that's sitting in the cylinder. It's a little don't like. It's what it is.
$182. On top of that, if you use the code AKGUY, you get a free $60 tactical gift. So if you're interested, be sure to check out TacPack using the links in the description and in the pinned comment. We appreciate TacPack for being an awesome sponsor as always. We'd also like to thank the Sonoran Desert Institute. I actually talked to these guys at SHOT Show and they're adding a bunch of cool new elements to their curriculum, including a lot more in-person hands-on stuff, including teaching lathe work, which I think is actually incredibly useful for gunsmiths. So anyway, if you ever wanted to get your start in gunsmithing and weapons technology and you're not sure where to look, maybe consider checking out sdi.edu using the links in the description and in the pinned comment.
ADD break. So once again, we have our Echelon penetration test. We've got our Atomic Cola flavor here and our, street sweeper here. Time to clean up the streets. Get this delicious beverage off the streets and whatever else. Jake, if I accidentally destroy your target stand, I apologize in advance. Cleaning up the streets in 3, 2, 1.
Did you see where he hit? I saw where he hit. Did you see where he hit? Wait, oh, I'm wrong. Okay, I'm wrong. Where did he? Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, okay, no, it was what I saw. Okay. Yeah. No, what do you notice is different about this target stand? Of course, he popped it right there. You can see the dents. You can see the dent in it.
I think I only shot the target stand.
Yes, you did.
We're not going to talk
Yes,
about
you
that.
did.
All right, now that we've made some adjustments in 3, 2, 1. There we go.
There we go. Ooh, nice.
Available
Launched
at
it.
drinkcation.com. Now, as for ejecting the shells when you've completely finished shooting through the cylinder, you open that loading gate back up, and then you have this little rod here that actually just kicks them out, kind of like so. It's very similar in premise to, like, say, a regular revolver. This one here, you take this out the side, you flip it around where you can actually see this. You got your plunger right there that when you push it out, you know, you can dump your rounds and then reload your gun. This is actually a gun that's very special to me. This is, you know, you'd think a pretty unremarkable Smith & Wesson. This gun was actually gifted to me by, you know, a couple friends, some of my shop boys, at the end of my last congressional race as a congratulations for getting out of politics. It didn't age well. But why they chose this one is why I love my friends. This was the gun that Bud Dwyer used to, well, be the reason why you know the name Bud Dwyer. The alternative way of ending a political career. So I think they were congratulating me on finally being done with having to deal with the race. Either that or they were encouraging me to give myself the Bud Dwyer nosebleed. Either way, I appreciate the gun. It's very special to me. But one of the other differences between the revolver and the striker is that, so this being a double action revolver, when you pull the trigger, it is the action of pulling the trigger that advances the cylinder forward. On the striker itself, it's wound, so you have to manually wind it. So, I'm gonna pull the trigger a lot. You can see it starts to slow down. So it no longer has the energy. It's getting a little sluggish until it just doesn't go anymore.
Interesting.
You have to wind it.
Do you literally have to wind it up like a fucking clock in order to work it? Okay, that's just nutty. That is nutty that you literally like, hang on, bad guys, I gotta wind up a shotgun. Yeah, it does make a very sweet kind of music, doesn't it?
It moves with purpose. It's also worth noting that because you have to manually eject the rounds on this, the rounds actually stay contained within the cylinder after you've emptied the entire gun, which is a really neat feature, you know, just in case there was a scenario where you wanted to go through about 10 rounds of buckshot and not have to worry about picking up your shells. Makes cleanup real easy. So you can go out, shoot all those rounds, and already have your brass collected for when you get home. So it's great for reloading and nothing else. But of course, one of the coolest and most iconic features of the striker or the street sweeper is the folding stock. So what you have here is a little button on the side, because this plate has 2 holes. So this is a little plunger in the receiver. We're gonna push that in, and then this whole stock folds up. Get my hand out of the way there. And it relocks there on the other hole. And now you have the street sweeper. This is really cool. Just what you think of when you think of the street sweeper.
True, yes.
That's just neat.
Yes, like this shotgun, you never think of it with the stock deploy. It's all like every time you see it in movies, it's always with the stock collapsed or folded atop it. Yeah, the rule of cool. Exactly. Hollywood goes with the rule of cool, so everybody always knows it in this form. And good night, Death Star. Have wonderful nights.
Just neat. The gun doesn't currently have really much in the way of sights anyway, so this is not much less effective, and I would say looks significantly cooler. But to deploy it back out, you just hit that same button, and this stock folds back, and you're ready to shoulder it and sweep the street full of clay pigeons. It's a sporting shotgun.
Like Resident Evil 4, you said Resident Evil 4. Pretty much every game that has the street sweeper in it does not have the stock deploy. To my memory, I cannot recall a single game or even a movie that ever had the street sweeper with the stock deploy. It was always folded. into the storage position.
I think this is actually still the same ballistic dummy we used for the Reagan assassination attempt breakout video. And then at one point he was stabbed in the gut down there because I think we needed fake blood for something. As you can tell, he's still a little leaky. But the problem is these ballistic dummies get a little old if you don't use them, so it's kind of moldy in the back, and frankly, it's gross, and I'm tired of having it in my house, so guess we'll clean that up. So obviously you would never use something like this against a person by any means, but just in case you have to defend yourself against a 200-pound raccoon. That's my person, I don't know you!
Jesus! Tail! That body shot!
Oh, no you don't.
God! Well, that's one way to take care of a zombie. That headshot definitely took out the brain, I think. Well, maybe. Might have taken out the brain.
I have a campaign event in like 2 hours. Oh, change.
Solid. Ooh, the squirts. Yeah, you've got red on you. Yes!
Looks like these streets are swept. Well, aside the obvious
Did it.
injuries, I don't think he's
hit
gonna
the
be
button.
thinking too hard about much at all anymore. It's kind of cool. You see some of the buckshot is actually just stuck in various places in the dummy. And it's kind of cool. I've already ruined the shirt. Later, asshole. Gross.
Yeah. Did you see the buckshot there? You can see the buckshot actually coming back out. Hang on, we find where I saw one. Right here. You got a piece of buckshot actually getting ejected back out of the dummy right here.
Now, another thing that makes the Striker 12 unique is actually really fucking annoying. So because of a few Daddy Bush import laws, this shotgun is actually not legal for import as anything other than what I had to purchase it as, which is a destructive device. Meaning this 12-gauge shotgun is regulated exactly as tight as this 40-millimeter grenade launcher, or that 20-millimeter anti-tank rifle. It's because it is a shotgun that apparently has no sporting purpose. Normally under American gun laws, this would just be considered an SBS or a short-barreled shotgun because the 12-gauge shotgun barrel length is under 18 inches, I believe. See? More than size matters. Yeah, the real motherfucker about it is this objectively better 12-gauge shotgun, the Saiga 12, with a bigger drum magazine, a detachable drum magazine, is regulated like a regular 12-gauge shotgun, not a destructive device. Available over the counter, 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine.
Can I please brag about ATF?
No, ma'am, not yet. No, you may not. So yeah, long story short, once again, NFA is gay. But if you went through all the paperwork, you actually could, a civilian can actually do the paperwork to register this as a destructive device. It is still theoretically possible for you to own. Me, because of my licensing, I am an 0702 firearm manufacturer with SOT, which means I actually get to have 2 destructive devices on my license per year. I still had one left over at the very end of last year, and I immediately had to go out and find one of these because I have always wanted one, and I just thought that they were hella cool. So was happy to use one of my 2 DDs on this right here. The second coolest type of double Ds I can think of.
Oh.
Did his brains actually blow out the back of the head?
Some of them landed on top of my head.
Oh, I'll get that for you. Yeah, see, there we go. Not too bad.
God.
Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Street Sweeper. It's kind of a piece of shit, but 4 out of 10 is a shotgun. 10 out of 10 for cool points. Very glad to finally add one of these to my collection. I've wanted one forever. Just realized it busted my fucking thumb open. My blood's all over this gun.
you should get checked. I don't even know where I've been.
Anyways, guys, I appreciate you staying all the way to the end of the video. We've got more stuff coming up, and I appreciate you for sticking along for the ride. I'm gonna go change my shirt before I gotta go be serious again, and I will see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Thanks. Now, another weird fact about the Striker 12. Loud suddenly. They grab a grenade launcher. What a cool sentence. If you want to take that clip. Oh, that's going to hurt it. I caught it with my boot. I'm sure he's got a bright future ahead of him. Future doctor here. Future doctor. Engineer. Lawyer, perhaps. Statistic.
Oh, okay, yeah, like the rule of cool is strong with this one, for sure. And I love it. I'm sorry, the rule of cool cannot be discounted. It cannot.